My name is Mark Probasco. I'm an Assistant Attorney General at the New Mexico Office of the Attorney General. January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month, and this is a great time to look back on how our laws protect survivors of this modern form of slavery, and more importantly, how the law can better protect survivors of this crime and help them transition to taking back control of their own lives with support from the community. The New Mexico Office of the Attorney General has partnered on legislation to address some of the shortcomings that we have in the law right now. Our hope is to make the laws on the books better reflect a model of justice that breaks the bonds between traffickers and their victims and treats survivors with the dignity and compassion that they deserve. With that goal in mind, HB 56, which last year, in last year's version, HB 237, passed unanimously in the House, before unfortunately running out of time in the Senate, makes a reality some of the aspirations of current laws against modern forms of slavery by making those laws more effective against traffickers and more protective of survivors. The through line for HB 56, this year's bill on human trafficking, is putting the focus back on the survivor's need for justice and for actually making sure that the justice system can deliver on the promise of treating the lives of the most vulnerable members of our community with dignity and compassion. Oftentimes, survivors are treated in the court process as a means to an end. For defendants, they're treated as targets, where every decision by them is questioned, relived, and cross-examined. Although it is important for our justice system to ensure a fair determination of the truth, this bill helps reorient criminal proceedings back where they belong, on the conduct of those that use force, fraud, and coercion to exploit others. Further, this bill makes sure that the means and threats used by traffickers are never successful, whether the threat is of deportation, of arrest, or of shame. This bill makes sure that cases won't drop off the face of the earth because a trafficker is successful at using force, fraud, and coercion against survivors of this crime. All those that exploit and reduce human beings to nothing more than a piece of property should be held to account for their conduct. This bill helps achieve that basic purpose. Finally, this bill recognizes the misconceptions around human trafficking and corrects them. Whether it's ensuring adequate restitution and setting out a formula for courts to ensure that sentences reflect the value and dignity of lives interrupted by trafficking, or whether it's in defining the nonviolent forms of coercion that have devastating impacts on the lives of survivors. A major part of this reform effort is in making sure that the statute educates the courts and other justice partners about the cost of this crime and about the solutions for delivering transformative justice for survivors. In closing, I'd like to thank the Lifelink for all the essential work that they do in helping to transform the lives of those impacted by this crime, and also to invite you as a viewer to, if you're interested in a fair and more just treatment of survivors of human trafficking and other forms of involuntary servitude, to take a look at the resources available on this webpage and at the webpage of the Office of the Attorney General, and to partner with us in this fight. Thank you.